Okay, so what we need is, let's do a plot of the function sine. Okay, the way we do this is we basically define an input, like say time axis, and we want it to be, say 0 to 2 pi or 0 to 4 pi. Now we want equidistant numbers from 0 to 2 pi. And one way of doing it is to use linspace. This is something which is used in MATLAB, where you give the initial point, the final point, and then you tell it how many points you want from 0 to 6. So let's say 50. I need to save this. So Control S. Let's call this test plots. One. Now let's try running this. Control Shift P. So it tells you linspace is not defined, and it should also tell you the line number, line 3. So you should just go there and ask yourself, is line space defined? It's not defined. In fact, linspace is defined in numpy again, so we need to import numpy as np and then call it. Okay, now if I run this, Control Shift P, it finishes fine. It doesn't print anything because I did not make it print anything. Now let's try to get assign y to sine. So np.sine of p. Yes, so we've got that. Now how do you do plots? Well, you need to import another module. It's called matplotlib.py plot as plt. Now you might think, where did I get these from? The way I got this as a beginner in Python, which I was maybe 2 months back, 3 months back when I started learning Python. I did not know Python until 3 months back. Is I just went to there and I just said plotting in Python. And then this website I found is really helpful, w3schools.com. It basically gives an example. The way I do it is I would take that code, paste it in my Atom editor, run it, and then start modifying it. And that's, I think, one way of learning how to code, which is modifying existing code. Okay, so just copy, paste. It actually has, some of them have a link where you can copy, but you can just copy, right-click, copy, and paste. Okay, so a lot of programming is about reusing somebody else's code. It's not unlike copying a document from Wikipedia or paper, which is called plagiarism. This is not considered plagiarism. So don't worry about copying somebody else's code. If somebody develops a big web application, he or she will actually put the type of licensing. So usually they put it out there, they'll have a open source licensing, which means you can use it for your purposes, and provided you put that copyright or that licensing information in your file. So don't worry so much about that in the world of programming. Okay, so we got that. Now let's just do the plot. So I'm going to call plt figure 1 plt plot y. Okay, now if you run this, it's thinking it's not finished. Now it's finished, but it didn't plot anything. So this is something I don't like about Python, which is you need to tell it that you need to show this the plot. So you need to say plt dot show, and then run this. Okay, so that's a curve of sine. Now, this is the other thing which I don't like, which is it's something once you hit show, it won't close by itself. You can continue working on this. So, for example, we run it again. So you can see it's actually open here. Let's run this again. And then it opens. There are 2 of them now. And then it just keeps accumulating. So, and this is there in MATLAB too, which is, so you need to tell it to close it down. So what I do is, and I'm sure there are other ways to do it. This is not the best way to do it. Again, I just searched, how do you close the window? What I like to do, I put a timed open. So it is open for so many seconds and just closes down. So I don't have to go and click on this and just close it like that. When I close it, it says finished. So the timed close is something like this. Again, I did not come up with this. I just searched for it and I copy pasted it in my code. Block equals false. PLT pause, and you can put the number of seconds, let's say 2 seconds, and then say PLT dot close. Okay, Control Shift P. It's on. Stay for 2 seconds and stop. Okay, now you can also make it a little bit more beautiful by putting, let's say you want to put, I don't know, you want to put labels. So plt.x label t, then plt on plt dot, that's your plt dot y label sign off. Okay, what else? If you want to change the line type, you can do that too. B for blue and O for using circles instead of lines. Control Shift P. So it now using circles for the plot since blue in color, and then show sign P and P.